in Harrisburg with the very latest on this situation that happened earlier today. Tyler, what can you tell us right now?
Amy, the latest information that we've learned with officials with York County is that no patients were injured as of a result of today's threat. However, we still don't know any extent of any other injuries inside the hospital. According to the York County Office of Emergency Management spokesperson Ted Check, police were called to the scene of a hospital because of an active threat this morning. Check was able to confirm in a press conference saying in part, quote, "The threat was neutralized and that an investigation is now underway." Check also confirmed that the hospital is now secure. We will continue to keep you updated as we gather more information right here on Fox 43, as well as on fox43.com. We will continue to keep you updated as we gather more information. Reporting in West Manchester Township in York County, I'm Tyler Poglich, Fox 43 News.
Tyler, if we can keep you just for a couple minutes here, we want to find out a little bit more if we can. What exactly do you know about where the shooting happened in terms of the location of the hospital?
So that information is still unknown. That information is still waiting to be released. So that is something that we are still waiting to hear on where exactly at in the hospital this all happened.
Tyler, just so we're clear, you only know of the fatality regarding the shooter, is that correct?
Yes, Amy, that is correct. Right now, the information that we've been given by Ted Check with the York County Office of Emergency Management has just been that the threat who came in this morning inside the hospital has been neutralized and that no patients were injured because of the threat. But like we mentioned, we still don't know the extent of any other injuries inside of the hospital. That is still something we are waiting to hear and will continue to keep you updated on.
Tyler, can you show us a little bit about, where you are? Can you show us what's going on behind you? If anything, I'm sure you're pretty far away from, where they probably don't want anyone anywhere near. But if you can, just describe, where you are back there and what you've seen today so far.
Yeah, Amy, I came here at around 11:30 this morning where I was on the front side of the hospital. And when I was out there, we saw a lot of law enforcement officers, as well as fire trucks and EMTs, as well as SWAT outside. So that was something that we saw. But a little bit later on, they moved us to the back side of the hospital. And we went around just a little bit around the corner. And there's still a heavy presence of police here. And it is expected that they will be out here all day today with this investigation that is now currently underway inside of the hospital.
Now, we know that Governor Josh Shapiro is supposedly going to be addressing the media at some point. Have you heard any update on when he will be speaking?
So we haven't heard any updates on when he will be exactly speaking, but we have been informed that he will be making his way out here to the hospital. So once we do hear that he will be here and when he does talk to media, we will continue to keep you updated as we learn more on what he has to say about today's events.
And of course, he made a statement earlier on X. I have it right here. We can read it briefly. I've been briefed on the tragic shooting at UPMC Memorial Hospital in York County, and I'm on my way to the scene. So as you said, he is on his way. He says the hospital is now secure, and the members of the PA State Police and PEMA headquarters are on the ground responding alongside our local and federal partners. He says to follow the direction, of course, of local authorities and stay clear of the area. Obviously, that's huge. They don't want anyone in and around the hospital because that can cause just more confusion and more chaos. And of course, hamper the investigation as well. What else can you tell us? No one else was hurt. Is that what police there on the scene have confirmed to you?
Yeah, that's exactly what has been confirmed to us, is that no patients inside the hospital were injured because of today's events, but they still haven't given any information if there's any injuries because of police officers or doctors or nurses inside of the hospital. So that is something we're going to be closely following to see what that has to offer us.
So I'm just reading here that a witness had called Fox 43 saying that multiple people had been shot inside the hospital, but you are hearing that that is not, in fact, the case.
That is still something that is unclear. I was able to actually speak with a father of one of the cardiologists inside the hospital, and they said the same thing, the father who mentioned that they are unsure of how many people were shot because of today's events or if any doctors or nurses. They just know that no patients were injured. So like we mentioned, that's definitely something we're going to keep a close eye on to see if any doctors, nurses, or police officers were hurt because of today's events.
Now, a recent Facebook post, Tyler, UPMC posted this. We've received confirmed reports of a gunman at UPMC Memorial and shots fired. The gunman is deceased and no patients have been injured. Okay, so again, this was from hours ago, so we're just trying to get an update. But they do say the hospital is secure, but is on divert. This is a fluid situation. Law enforcement is on premises and is managing the situation. We're grateful to all local law enforcement. And so, yeah, just watching this all unfold earlier today, you can see as you're watching some of the video from earlier, a huge police presence there at UPMC Memorial Hospital. What an insane morning really happening right in our backyard here. Tyler, if you can, give us one more time, basically a rundown of what happened when you got there, what you saw, and what you know at this point.
Yeah, of course, Amy. I got here at around 11:15, 11:30 this morning. When I arrived here at UPMC, there was a swarm of police officers inside the parking lot. And when I arrived, I was directed up into OSS parking lot where I was able to get a wide view of everything that was going on. And like we've mentioned, there is several, even dozens of police agencies out here on the scene. And a lot of people were curious this morning, asking questions about what was going on. Like we've mentioned, all we know right now is that no patients were injured because of the shooting earlier today here at the hospital, but we do not know the extent of any other injuries. And the spokesperson with the York County Office of Emergency Management did tell us that the threat was neutralized and that an investigation is undergoing as of this moment. So we will continue to keep you updated. And like you also mentioned, Governor Shapiro will be making his way out here to the hospital to give a statement to media as well as to observe the situation. So once we have all that information, we will continue to keep you updated right.
All right, Tyler, I'm sorry. I was having trouble hearing you there for a little minute. Can you repeat what you just said?
Yeah, of course. So I got out here at around 11:30 this morning, and when I arrived on the scene, there was a dozen police agencies on the scene. And when I got here, I was directed into the OSS parking lot right across the street. And going up on the hill, I was able to observe the entire scene and what it looked like. And there was, like I mentioned, dozens of police officers or police agencies on the scene. And throughout the day, we learned that no patients were harmed because of today's shooting, but the extent of any other injuries is still unclear. We did speak with Ted Check, who is the spokesperson with the York County Office of Emergency Management, and he did confirm that the threat was neutralized, but an investigation is now undergoing, so we will continue to keep you updated with that, as well as when Governor Josh Shapiro makes his way out here, we will continue to keep you updated as to what he has to say about today's events.
And of course, we're hearing a lot, of course, from local representatives, State Senator Don Kiefer, State Representative Seth Grove. They've both made statements. We are deeply saddened by the tragic shooting at UPMC this morning. Our hearts go out to the victims, their families, and all of those affected by this senseless act of violence. We are immensely grateful to our local law enforcement departments, Pennsylvania State Police, UPMC officers, police, Pennsylvania game wardens, York County sheriffs, EMS, and all other emergency responders for their swift actions in securing the scene, treating the wounded, and ensuring the safety of our community. Their dedication and bravery in moments of crisis are truly commendable. As we continue to monitor this heartbreaking situation, we join our community in praying for UPMC patients and staff, those who were injured, and for the loved ones coping with an unthinkable act. We stand ready to support those impacted in any way we can. May God bless you all. You know, mentioning family members and patients and staff members, I can't imagine getting the call, Tyler, that's something, you know, or seeing, for instance, on social media that this had happened at the hospital and you knew a loved one lived there. I know they did have a hotline set up for relatives and family members to call. Do you have any of that information for us?
Amy, all of that information is on our website at fox43.com. There's 2 numbers on there that will direct you to a hotline with the hospital for any loved ones who may have family who works here, a friend, or somebody that you know, or if anyone thinks that a friend or family was here at the hospital today. That number is on our website at fox43.com for anyone who needs to call that number.
All right, we are just receiving confirmation right now that a police officer has a West York Borough police officer has been killed. So we are working right now to confirm more information about this, but things just changed a lot here. So again, a West York Borough police officer has been killed. We just received confirmation of that. Goodness gracious. All right. This is a statement from UPMC. If you have family members who were there earlier today, the numbers, the hotline that Tyler was mentioning earlier, that hotline is 717-849-5338. 717-849-5338. You can also call 717-849-5334 for families of patients seeking more information. Families and of patients arriving on site should report to the parking lot of the OSS building across the street from the hospital. So again, if you are picking up someone today that was at the hospital or you need to find out more information, those are the numbers to call. And again, families of patients arriving on site should report to the parking lot of the OSS building across the street from the hospital. We are waiting to hear from Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, who has made a statement on X earlier today about this shooting. West York Borough police officer, again, we have confirmed, has been killed in this shooting. We are working to bring you more information every minute. And as soon as we get some new information, we will bring it to you on fox43.com. Thanks so much for joining us.